Welcome back, everyone, to another broadcast of the Daily Orbit. I'm your host, Alex Cater, and today's feature is about the city underneath Kepler Crater and winner of this year's Best City Award. Joining us live from City Hall are Mayor Clayton and Chief Engineer Cohen. Founded in 2051 and now with a population of nearly 1 million, Laughter City was also the first major metropolis to be built completely underground. Mr. Mayor, could you tell us a bit more about your city?
Certainly. Laughter City has two main sectors, one for its citizens and one where we grow and process our food. The walls of our city are lined with honeycomb-shaped structures where we house our residents and small commercial establishments. The city center is where we have our larger businesses, the arts and entertainment district, and numerous parks.
And don't forget the underground spaceport.
So, what was behind the decision to build Laughter City underground? Were there any major trade-offs?
Well, the main danger of being above ground was meteoroids. By going underground, we are now immune to impacts but more vulnerable to moonquakes. Additional resources and engineering were required to develop and implement technologies to keep our city safe from moonquakes. However, this task was much more feasible than protecting the entire city against meteoroids.
Speaking of technology, my favorite is the nanomicrobot, also known as the NMB. Although they're only a 0.5 millimeter in size, they can be used for many purposes, such as interior of buildings, furniture, and transportation.
Now, I love food, and I think it's amazing how the food production system, designed by agricultural engineers, is able to easily provide for the entire city. Fresh produce is grown using the aeroponic system, and for other foods, genetically modified yeasts that taste, feel, and look like the real things are used. They also have max nutritional value, which allows for a large variety of foods on a daily basis.
On the topic of technologies, my favorite is the Dyson system because it provides power to the entire city. Designed by mechanical and electrical engineers, this system uses mirrors to reflect sunlight to solar collectors, where it is then converted into electricity.
And this system is able to power the entire city?
Correct. Although we do have secondary fusion generators and solar panels.
Well, it's always good to have a backup plan. Now let's move on to transportation and city services. There are two types of transportation in Laughter City, expressways and pods. Expressways are like roads for pedestrians and are used for traveling short distances. For longer travel, citizens use pods. Anyone care to explain?
Not at all. Pods are autonomous vehicles that charge while traveling through honeycombs, which they do using electromagnets. To fly, they utilize advanced magnetoplasmodynamic thrusters and are even equipped with short spaceflight capability.
Thank you, Cohen. One of the biggest attractions to Laughter City are the schools, due to their success in educating the population.
That is correct.
Why are they so successful?
Well, our K-12 schools are year-round with blended learning and ability-based instruction. This system is very engaging for students and allows them to learn at their own pace. We are also well known for our university.
What about crime?
Laughter City has one of the lowest crime rates due to universal basic services, which provides housing, food, education, and guaranteed basic income. We also monitor each citizen's physical and mental health, which helps with early prevention.
But what about fires? Surely those are extra dangerous underground. I mean, pods do allow for quick response time, but what other safety measures are taken when a fire breaks out?
Well, for fires inside honeycombs, we have the airlock system that isolate the fire and remove the air. However, where the airlock system aren't practical, we use a compound made mostly of powdered regolith.
Now, we've mentioned regolith several times. However, I'm not sure everyone knows what this is. Can either one of you explain it to our audience?
Regolith, also known as lunar dust, is one of the resources that we use to keep our citizens safe and healthy. It is used as building material and provides breathable air. Using a process called molten salt electrolysis, which happens in this building here, we are able to extract oxygen and other resources.
In fact, this location was chosen because of the abundance of regolith.
However, the most important resource we use is silicone. It is found in the form of silicate and mined by robots.
Why is it so important?
Because it is used to protect our city against moonquakes. We mix silicone with other materials to create a non-Newtonian fluid called oosling. The oosling fills hundreds of underground chambers surrounding the city. When there is a moonquake, the oosling hardens and protects the city.
Silicone is also a large part of our tech industry.
Now, I know we talked a bit about the risks faced when building Laughter City underground, but are there any regarding these resources?
I think the only danger was regolith's razor-sharp nature, which proved to be dangerous to both machines and humans.
However, this problem was solved by harvesting all the regolith in the area surrounding the city.
Now, I've heard that the nearly 1 million residents of Laughter City love living here. Aside from providing total protection from the hazards of lunar life, what else makes your city so successful?
Well, the founders had a vision of what the city would eventually look like. They worked with engineers across all disciplines using the engineer design process. They devised the artificially regulated climate and increased the gravity for an Earth-like environment, as well as the sophisticated technology that makes lunar life possible.
Whoa, slow down. Engineering design process? What's that?
The engineering design process is a series of steps that helps engineers successfully solve problems. These steps are define, plan, do, and review. First, they identified the problems of having a city on the moon, such as moonquakes and the lack of nutrition. Then they devised solutions for these problems like oostling and the aeroponic system. It often took multiple attempts to arrive at the best solution, so they frequently tested and redesigned their ideas. Once they arrived at the perfect solution, they implemented it into the city.
Well, thank you guys both so much for coming on, and congratulations again to Laughter City. I'm your host, Alex Cater, and this is a Daily Orbit.